You know what? If you watch film, you're probably not.
He would evolve what we described him as we went along. So he's made enough plays now to go from
kind of work the leverage of the defender. And quarterback's holding on as long as he can. He went in, he went back out, he goes back in.
Why Dennis Allen had no concerns with Paulson Adebo not playing today. Alontae Taylor in stride, doesn't touch.
But it's not now. But I mean, watch that. It's a double move, and Gilmore doesn't get fooled. Outstanding job.
Gallups' name at all tonight, and what a tough matchup. We look at the length. You know, again, Woolen is 6'4".
Joey Porter Jr. has been traveling with the number one receiver. With no Jamar Chase, that means it's T. Higgins.
Eyes stay on the football. Remember, it's third down. He's thinking about the sticks. He actually works to the outside with and maybe before Lockett.
Charvarius Ward. Look how far inside he is, looking right at DK Metcalf. That is pure man-to-man, a little tough.
The guy that Demario Davis said himself. He said for us to take our defense to the next level, this guy has to up his game and really.
Sauce Gardner came in and took this league by storm, and you can see it play after play. He stays over on the left side. They haven't flip-flopped him. They haven't chased Devontae Adams. They did here. Maybe this was his best play of the night. They had to pick play on. He ducked underneath it, stopped him short of the first down. Physical down the field.
A lot of credit here. He's working. Look at Hopkins using his.
And you watch these guys locked up the whole way. Look at Nelson. He gets that hand over there, and you can see him.
He's not able to get DJ Reed turned. You see how he's able to then put his foot in the.
Oh my goodness! This is why he was the number 5 overall pick. Look at that. Eli Apple. You need a corner to guard Darren Waller, and that's the truth. You see how fast he is.
Yeah, and Garrett Wilson runs a nice route. It's the inside fade with the little stutter, but this ball has to be further outside. It has to be further outside.
5 Pro Bowls the last 6 seasons. Look at that right there. The spin and turn, and then to close the gap right there.
Look how much room he has to work to the outside, Al. But look at this route. Look at the route. He's almost to the sideline, and as a quarterback, you need some room. His size really works out for him as a corner at 6'4". It's not just him on receivers. You can put him with that length and see that left hand.
Couple third downs. Charvarius Ward, the last couple weeks, they've put him on the opponent's best receiver.
Dude, St. Juice, one-on-one on the outside against a very physical guy who's just trying to run a little pivot route. There's no separation. So I love the fact that the officials let him play and let him be a little physical. Even though there's contact, it's not pass interference.
All right, so the offense is staying on the field now. They were starting to go off. Now they.
Yes, Steve Wilks is not afraid to match up this one-on-one versus the.
Here on the outside, you've got him, and now watch this. Force him toward the sideline, stay on that hip, and as soon as you get that hip movement.
On that first touchdown, and this time against the rookie, trying to work again. And you can see Porter almost expecting him to go.
Big play by Ramsey.
Well, you decide with one-on-one. Jacoby Myers.
Which could spell time for Mahomes on the other side.
I agree, and this is you got to lean into him, Diggs. Lean into him. You got to almost push your body.
Offensive pass interference. He just stays on top just enough, gets his head turned around, and maybe offensive PI again.
And now he's been able to become the guy. A turnover machine, 4 interceptions on the year, and he's got him by.
Yeah, Deron Bland. They moved him from nickel corner outside to replace Trevon Diggs.
I think you might see a crosser here, but instead, after a lot of communication at the line of scrimmage, a very low percentage route.
Just a great job by Charvarius Ward on this play. It's really well set up. He doesn't take the bait completely, able to recover, and then stays with it, gets his hand.
What you've got going here, Mike, is they are playing really hard inside. They're forcing all the throws to the outside.
Excellent coverage. Mekhi Blackman on Christian Watson. You see how he turns around at the end.
Number 21, man-to-man, and McCreary he's really had a nice season. You know,
Nate Hobbs, what a play here to set up a potential game winner. This is just fantastic. Going to get his head around at the last minute.
And Ward took it away. 49ers do not play a lot of man coverage, but they come up and press with Ward and Jordan Addison.
Diggs, and they let him work it out. So watch at the end. See them both hand fighting with each other? Okay, I've got you, you've got me.
I think a really nice job.
He's so fast that he just plays bump and run against the best receivers in the game.
Defense for the Giants and is getting better and better. Made that stop.
He made the stop, but you see that Toure gets in behind him, and he actually had more room.
What's going on right here? I mean, you look at he's playing outside leverage, which means then he's going to have to slice that under.
Does by pinning Jalen Hyatt to the sideline. Right, he opens up. Now all of a sudden, without pass interference, pins him on the side.
Watch Peterson 3 times All-Pro, 8 times in the Pro Bowl. Felt it, got his head back around to see the football.
Woolen, and this is good coverage. They just go with the shallow cross, and he's in the hip pocket. That's what they say. He's in that right hip, and just out in front.
It makes you speechless. I mean, this is a ridiculous play. I mean, he's on the top side of the receiver, not only to undercut it.
They're bringing out Anders Carlson.
But you see them locked up here on the outside. Look at that coverage by Horn.
The theme here in the fourth.
If he's trying to throw a fade, he threw it way short. If he's trying to throw...
Really nice job here by Rasul Douglas. He's big and physical enough to be able to go one-on-one. What they're trying to run here, this is called a corner stop or a 7 stop. They want the defender.
Former Cowboy.
Watchdale goes to the inside. He tries to make it, get around to the outside and work the back line. And Awuzie comes in with that right arm.
He has lived up to the billing.
See Jakobi Meyers going down the middle of the field. That draws the attention of Holland.
And DJ Reed, and another guy that really has had a terrific season is Michael Carter. He plays the
and he's as good as anybody. A.J. Brown is at making the contested catch.
On the left side, Jakobi Meyers goes to the outside, or it's Tucker that's on the outside.
Their first round pick, staying with Shepard, reads the route. I love that he gets his eyes back.
Trying to get Devontae Adams crossing the field, dropping it up the field, but
no DK Metcalf on the field in that portion of the drive. Big third down inside.
You know, we got guys that are really good. Kittle, like, look at, he runs the route for him.
They had their big shot there. You saw Stafford with the audible, knew he had man-to-man coverage with a strong safety Branch out there, but as Brian Branch.
And here was the coverage, Tony.
Yeah, and it's outstanding coverage. And this is a great quarterback play. I know everything's covered. You could have tried to fit something in. The one area, though, you got to understand.
Rich, their DBs, they get up in your face, and they're not afraid to be physical with you. Trent McDuffie right there.
They're trying to run a double move on him, but he doesn't bite. He hangs in there, and he's able to position, never does turn around and locate the football, but not much room there.
Xavier Howard, watch as he's looking in. His eyes are in at Aiden O'Connell.
So right here, 3rd and 1, they get discouraged out of the running play because they stack the line of scrimmage.
These routes with CeeDee Lamb off the field, you see here they start off.
What? Tackling. But how about him seeing this the entire way? Doesn't get fooled by the receiver.
Let's watch Marshawn Lattimore in the coverage. He's playing off man. Flips his hips. Grabs a little bit at the end.
Shove it on 3rd down. It's one of the worst 3rd down offenses in the league, and again the play.
Well, and they got Illuminor with the holding call.
But Plants, you're going to see the cushion that he has for him. He knows exactly where the first down marker is. But what he does great.
The situation to score just didn't dictate to make that decision.
Because of the threat of going past him. But the hitch here is he holds it and double clutches it, and that little pause at the top of that drop.
I think this is a good decision from Drew Lock. Tyler Lockett has a step, but the ball is slightly underthrown. In those situations, you have to put the ball.
And they have Chase run the slant inside, and they bring Boyd to the outside. He sees the slant go, lets it go, and stays out.
Get after the quarterback to hit people, so he allowed his defense to just put their claws out and go.
Really nice play and a good job also by Jimmy Garoppolo because he recognizes the blitz.
With Keitrell Clark, he was always getting his head around. Marco Wilson right here doesn't do that. You're going to see the contact as the ball comes in.
And look how many white shirts are just sitting on every route. So when the throw is behind him and it's hard to grasp and it pops in the air, look how many white shirts are in the area.
Watch his reaction. He's able to get up and get his arms around Tyreek's legs. Nowhere to go.
Hedge out onto the field for Seattle.
Metcalf is frustrated with himself. I've seen him make that play 10 out of 10 times.
At defending the pass against wide receivers, what a great job by McDuffie of timing that, getting his eyes back to the ball and staying in the hip pocket. I mean, they picked up the blitz. They were prepared for it. And one-on-one with all that space. It's very hard when you have DBs. Edwards, who's really, he got a Super Bowl with Tampa, comes over here. Veteran player. These guys, they're just outstanding. Accidentally throws it over his head. Good job keeping your leverage. Stay on the outside. Kelsey ends up winning. Flying all the way over is Brown.
Little dangerous there for me, but that's Bradbury and those long to let that go. I don't think that was intended for the outside there.
Watch what he does with this double move down the field. This is what's so tough. The scramble drill against Josh Allen. You see Diggs open. Now watch Banks not.
I want you to watch him. This is for the Super Bowl. Because Chris Jones comes through. Watch on the bottom. Jennings wins for the Super Bowl right down there. But there's no time. He looks to the left, comes back. Warner, by the time he moves around, but this was all the rush lane discipline. That's where he was looking right there. Good pass off.
And with North,
he makes it a little bit of a poor choice right there. Break out, break in, but he wants the first down. And he doesn't get his eyes to be able to find the ball.
Yeah, and Baker just leaves this a little short. Great play there by Alontae Taylor. And
on an island by himself. That is tremendous effort.
The right-hand side. Bringing some pressure off the slot. McDuffie reroutes him, and then Snead from the outside sees the ball go up in the air and goes and gets it. What an athletic play by Snead.
This throw, is this a good play by Witherspoon, or is this one that Marshall should have caught? Ball looked like it got to him before Witherspoon made it.
There goes Zacchaeus to the back corner.
So here's Harris. His eyes are on the quarterback, and at the last minute, he breaks underneath in front of the intended target, Harrison Bryant.
Young player right here, McDuffie. Perfect technique, timing.
Yeah, I want to see the timing, Jair Brown. I think this was really good timing. You'll see Williams, he kind of stopped quickly.
Watch right here.
crowd just watched it on the screen here, and they're reacting.
The Detroit Lions, they own the middle of the field in their passing game. A lot of crossing routes and unders, but no team.
Detroit, fourth down stop, fumble, 3 and out. San Francisco, field goal, touchdown, touchdown.
And they go to the end zone, and it's incomplete.
This is exactly what funnels right towards you. As Owe does a great job.
Bunch them all up. He goes out, and initially McDuffie has a hard time. He gets picked, but watch him rally. Two we had
earlier in this drive. Tight man coverage. It's a low throw, but you see Newsome able to knock that ball away. Perfect position.
Tua had his eyes down the field, then he wants to kick it wide to his best player. McDuffie all over it. Big physical hit.
That's made the biggest growth under Steve Wilks. The new coordinator has been Charvarius Ward.
Looked like he's on Isaiah Likely here, and he's going to be in coverage, and as he comes off the ball, he's covering him, but he feels it, and then he comes off. Actually, he came off of it to get underneath Isaiah, but that's just a really nice play by Petrie getting his hands on the ball. Darby's got a lot of playing experience under his belt in his 9-year career.
Up front, it gets right in his face. You can't see Diggs goes out. McDuffie hides the coverage well.
So this is kind of a mismatch. Your best cover guy picking up a backup tight end, and he just comes over.
Slants have been really good, but this is Ramsey off coverage. Watch how he looks inside. He's not only seeing the receiver.
Valentine was worked up, and now this is the shot. He tries to get CeeDee Lamb on the little. Brought out the best of Dak in the regular season, and that's the second pick now, a pick 6 by Savage, and Dallas finds themselves. Look, the reality is these zone coverages, they're just giving Dallas fits. There's just nowhere to go with the ball. You see Dak, he's going from his first to his second to his third progression, and everybody he looks, they're blanketed by a zone defender who practice.
By Green Bay, the runner was down by contact at the 19-yard line. It'll be Green Bay's ball, 1st and 10 at the 19.
They're saying he's down there.
I don't think 3 is going to get it done. I think that's good.
really see it. It's Oluokun who causes Ridder to pull that down and not deliver it on time, and really gives Darius Williams a chance.
Xavier McKinney and Adoree Jackson are going to make a play on the ball.
Instead of leading him outside, he puts it on his back shoulder because he knows Porter's sitting out there. Oh, Allie Cox has got to come up with that one. Just a great.
Sometimes the defensive back just wins, and he does on that one.
Because over his right shoulder, they would have had a chance, but he throws it to the
thing short of a disaster. Back here with the Patriots makes a play on the rookie.
Yep, and initially, they're playing two-man, which means we're
really tight coverage. Look down the bottom of your screen. Joey Porter just trying to get a physical relief. Great job by the officials letting him play.
Because he has been fantastic here tonight. Out and up, it just has not mattered. It didn't matter.
And this is a really good job coming out of the slot. And we talked about maybe that illegal contact was touchy.
He's got deep third, and he just tracks this ball all the way down and just gets his fingers on it. Really well done. But what we didn't see is how far he came to be able to get there from the outside in, and made a great play.
Right on the right side for a hold, but this should have been a touchdown or an interception.
Because he is having some night. It was a feeling within Seattle.
He just took his shot. He just took his shot and just jumped it. It was a little bit of a strange screen because Ridder.
He's just one of those guys who's he just knows where the ball is, and Harris Campbell, he's expecting him to hook up. He goes inside, opens it up.
If it does, I thought the tie goes to the offense. Obviously, I'm an offensive guy.
Yes, you're biased, yes.
But either way, this is an excellent play.
Who's got control? Shaheed's hands never came off it. Thomas had it wrapped up as well. The ruling on the field is an interception, but Shaheed never got rid of the football either.
Play. Josh Metellus is playing the middle of the field like a safety, listed as a safety, does literally everything for this Vikings defense, and he just takes the ball away. Great coverage. Great coverage. Look at that. Puts his arm
off the line of scrimmage because he's cluing into the quarterback. He's beat. Watson's not running full speed because he doesn't want to run out of real estate because they're so close to the end line. But what a play.
Boy, you're right. Griffin, he almost ran this route as if he knew exactly what was coming. He was step for step.
And he recognized the matchup against an inexperienced corner in Boodle. He's got DJ Moore, his favorite target, even though he is blanketed there.
Look at him here. Break the record that he shared with two others coming into the day.
But look at this. This is the instincts right here. Almost everybody else would be tackled. I mean, that's like a running back or a...
Oliver's at nickelback, undersized, so he's got a little bit of space. Now you just want the ball up in the air where Waller can try to adjust.
And they have Chase run the slant inside, and they bring Boyd to the outside. He sees the slant go, lets it go, and stays out there.
Getting his hand on the ball. Let's watch. He gets that right arm and is able to flip it up.
Big time play by Apple because they brought pressure. This is just one-on-one against one of the most dynamic receivers in the
quarterback. Rookie to rookie.
Oh, look
and he's going to learn. That's an X-ball.
He's going to come from over here. Watch the back side of this thing as he runs backwards, flips around, sticks his hand out.
The back of his hand?
And it just happened to hit his hand. That young man has played some remarkable football.
A seventh-round rookie and an undrafted rookie because of injuries, and Baker made a really good play.
Safety help. He's going to take Brandon Powell, and he starts there. But once he comes to the inside, it frees him up to then get underneath that route.
Brown, who we've seen him make some big plays out and around the line of scrimmage, but this time back is the free safety and got hit.
But Ramsey times it up. You were right. He did get his hand right in there, and Ramsey playing some outstanding.
That lasted 1 year, and it's been a tough season for him right now.
Yeah, it sure has. He's been frustrated at times for obvious reason.
Howden against the tight end, Stephon Sullivan. Yeah.
But I don't think they're any better than these two guys.
Well, we just saw earlier Sauce Gardner.
Unbelievable. It's like he was in the huddle. Look at him jumping. He reacts quicker than anybody from the offense. It's like he knew that with that motion, this is the play they run to get it to 30, and he said, not on my watch. He just stepped right in front of it, one-hands it, and walks into the end zone.
By the Saints, the corners in particular. Isaac Yiadom is filling in for Marshawn Lattimore.
Well, here's the one-on-one coverage. He feels the space, and then Johnson with a T-step and fire and
by Julian Love, his second of the night.
Field was an interception by the defense. That play is now under review.
John, you see it as a pick.
Leverage, man, this guy just keeps getting better in his third year out of Florida State. You know, see the patience there by Davante Adams on that route.
Game-changing plays right here. We're going to come all the way across the field here. Dean's in perfect position, and I tell you, Mike, he's one of those guys. Just be careful.
Third of the season.
Well, this is an easy read if you're Bailey Zappi. You see everybody from a defensive standpoint flow. So you're thinking that the slant's going to be wide open, but Douglas jumps it. He looks his eyes to the right, which is completely fine. You don't anticipate the corner jumping him because with that type of anticipation, offense in great field position. They jump the tight end. That knocks the ball up in the air. Oliver with hustle. Coming back with the one-handed interception.
That's his first career interception.
By Brian Branch, because CeeDee Lamb at the top of this route, you're going to see the push as he drops his hips. Normally that's when you create the separation.
Gets his hands on him earlier, disrupts the timing, and Rice doesn't explode out. Antonio Pierce, the head coach, coached this guy in high school, at Long Beach Poly, and at Arizona State. And boy, what a great decision to bring him in.
You're not kidding. 2 touchdowns in 7 seconds.
Wow, and that's the 13th.
Well, it's interesting. Much more important, right? You watch DeAndre Hopkins. He thinks they're going to clock it.
Correct.
Instead, they run a play.
The receiver here gets out of bounds, but he's not going forward.
Poor decision by Nick Mullins. You're going to see Justin Jefferson going in motion, and as he goes in motion, he's going to now be one-on-one. It's going to run an inside route. He's right there in the middle of the field. Instead, Nick Mullins goes for Jordan Addison. He's a poor throw, and that is an interception.
All that athleticism nearly came down with it.
Yeah, and really, Fuller has been the most solid defensive back here in this secondary for Washington that has given up a ton of big plays. And for an offense, they've struggled. This was a great chance to.
And I agree with that 900% of the time. But there are times if you can wrap your body around one, gotta have it moments if you're the Jaguars. And I tell you, McCary was fighting his life off over there, wasn't he? Trying to hang on. And
route is there. The ball's a little bit late, and Charvarius Ward is not threatened by anyone on the outside. So he sees the play the entire way from back to front, able to see Murray's drop, where he stopped.
That's really the kind of play you got to have. And Derek Stingley has started to play lights out.
It's a punting situation for Denver. Did not get the 2 strides necessary, or big hit by Branch, huh? Wow.
Yeah, Branch phenomenal there.
Now you see why he was the former Defensive Player of the Year, surefire Hall of Famer, and Stephon Gilmore now.
Jane confirmed this is a catch.
Yeah, this one feels a little easier than the one before, Jim. This one's definitely possession in time to make a football move, and then a good defensive play for stripping the ball right at the right time out of Rice's hands.
It's a great route, good throw, everything's perfect. But Snead times things so well. He does get a few too many penalties, but nobody has a huge game against him, and he's been tracking Diggs all game. So a handful.
On the last drive, Julian Love, he gets beat. But watch the effort coming back. The effort play chasing down Ayuk, and then Woolen.
Good protection here as the Jets only bring 4.
Does it again, throws behind and late. Look how close that was.
Parker. Well, I think Asante Samuel, his hand almost matches Parker's hand right on it.
And look at him with this coverage all over it as he goes over the top, and Nico Collins helped knock the ball.
Yeah, you see this throw cross your body a little bit, but Roger McCreary just gets in there to knock it away at the last.
Jordan Reed read this beautifully. He's running the route for Jonnu Smith, and he's trying to get to the football.
What the Cleveland Browns were going to show. They showed a pressure look. Russell Wilson kept his tight end and halfback in, so it gives him a 7-man protection.
I mean, it sounds crazy.
Right.
But this is what you have to do. You rely on the defense to do this. In the second half, you got to get turnovers or you got to get 3 and outs. You got to give your own offense a chance. This defense is doing everything every single week.
Of the season, make sure he secured it going to the ground, and he did.
Yeah, it sure looks like he did. And A.J. Brown, he beat him so bad off the line, but here's another look at it. It does look like his hands and arms are under it.
Broncos in their secondary have been so close to 3 of these. Watch the crossing route coming across the field. Hand on it, ball's tipped up in the air. And maybe but for the fact that they were faking the blitz with their 2 linebackers and had to sprint backwards out of there, maybe they're more stationary and can get that tip.
Excellent job out here. Look at outside. He's going to fall off the corner. Baits you into riding Lazard to the sideline and then comes off and makes the play on it. It's a good throw, good thing. The problem is Douglas rerouted his guy.
Oh, man, let's see. There's the pop out by Dodson.
Well, if this ball was thrown where it needed to be thrown, it's an easy 3rd down conversion. But instead, Courtland Sutton, he's having to work back and get the football. It's down low.
Great job passing off a receiver. And Huntley thought he was going to run right through the middle with Bateman.
And a touchdown.
So they're saying it's what the ruling on the field is. Maybe they're talking if Tyreek didn't have it long enough.
Ruling on the field is an interception.
Won't be that.
After discussion, it is an incomplete.
All of football this season. A couple of interceptions last week. And, yeah, we're talking about Quentin Johnson and how athletic he is. But Jalen Johnson, if the Bears get their way, will sign a contract that's a very long-term deal.
You know, you cannot put it where he put it right here. It's got to be up a little bit higher. And I don't even know if you make that throw. I really like that the officials are letting him play right there. You can see just some hand checking right there. But a great job by Greg Newsome.
Top of the screen to double team Cooper Kupp. So that left one-on-one. Stephon Gilmore has been doing that at a high level for a long time. He just plays through his hands. Let's take a look here. If he held on to the ball, would have been close whether or not he was in bounds or not, but obviously he lost the ball.
Watch, he's got Parker down the field, but he's going to read the quarterback and come off. So Mac Jones believes that Ramsey is going down the field, and then he's going to have a wide open Kendrick Bourne on the sideline.
The day.
And Darius Williams is having an exceptional year on the corner for Jacksonville. 3 interceptions, 11 passes broken up before this game began. And coming out of that bunch four.
And when he runs with him, you think he's going to stay with him. Once he sees the move, okay, you think he's a man-to-man. See that hand signal? There's Devin White. He passes it off.
Won a game at home.
Well, Jalen Johnson never got out of his back pedal. He was just shadowing Devontae Adams. Wasn't scared of him running by. We talked about those.
And he capitalizes on the Minshew mistake.
And they come off of that. Stephon Gilmore has got a little help with safety, so he's able to drive on this route by Quentin Johnston.
An incompletion and now a punt.
And as bad as that possession was, the fact they're punting.
Right at the end there, right? You got people covers. Wow, what extension there by Snead. This secondary is outstanding, Jim. He's turned into a dynamic player.
Yes,
Snead.
he has. I mean, what a pick he was.
Fine, you're at home, you're past the 50, but right here you see Snead driving on that ball perfectly, and that's what he's done all year.
Oh boy, the high point battle won by the Jaguars.
Watch Asante Samuel as he comes up and gets the interception.
Okay, they have Ramondre Stevenson. He's going to double. That's Micah Parsons at the top of the screen. He's blocked. He has good protection here. But the second he exits the pocket, right there, that ball needs to be thrown over the heads of the Dallas Cowboys bench.
Takeaway since 2020, number 2 in the league, and that number 7 shows up all the time. He's so underrated.
And this guy right here to me is a steal of the draft. The rookie out of Alabama, Brian Branch.
Left side. See Courtland Sutton here getting influenced by Michael Carter. He's kind of lazily coming back to the football.
Have been pretty remarkable Just a little option route by Cooper Kupp. I'm not sure if there's confusion.
Ball, but watch him at the line. Bam, just nails him.
This is not him making up ground. This is him seeing it and saying, I see the football, I'm going for it. Not a matter of him.
Here, he's going to come into your frame, but the bottom line right here, you see Amon-Ra St. Brown come in there, but that ball's got to be out.
He's got Hawkinson, so he's not worried about Hawkinson so much running by him. And he's just, now that was a ball.
Watch Stingley at the end. He's beaten and he decides, I'm going to just go ahead and launch because even if I get caught, and right there, he might have been into him.
And Hufanga, who is known for his physicality. Look at this ball. I mean, that gets in there. You got to fight for that.
Let's take a look. Anderson going through. And then the ball wobbles out. I think Anderson deflected it on the back end in the pocket.
It's great coverage by DJ Reed. This is the only part I don't like about the scheme or execution.
Rightfully so, but it's really been the play of Stephon Gilmore these last couple weeks.
You know, I remember Warren Moon saying this about Joey Galloway when they were together in Seattle. Witherspoon taking out
SummerSlam 2024, Mean Gene. Oh, yeah. Oh, he got him. That's a hamstring tackle right there. And the lift. Forklift certified.
Well, he's just in a little cover two here, and this guy is their best cover corner, but watch him cheat this, okay? He understands the pattern. He understands they're throwing that corner with that flat behind.
And he's coming all the way from this side, and he's going to track down Jaylen Warren. There is no way Jaylen Warren was getting out of that tackle.
Where he was an all-pro, Pro Bowl player. He was taking one pick after Derek Stingley. That was the big debate. Which corner do you want? Stingley, beset by injuries, didn't have quite the season that guard.
On defense, Trayvon Diggs with the huge hit. And then the guy unexpectedly was a star a season ago, Deron Bland. Mason Cole right inside. Here comes Crosby right over the center with a running start. And they just stoned him right there. That play really made by Nate.
KJ Osborne had to slow down for this ball. Asante Samuel almost had it. That's two plays in a row.
You've got to understand the difference between man and zone in this one. Outside leverage, cut back underneath. You know you have the safety. You see it right there. Melifonwu.
Here it is. Catch. Looking upfield. The hit by Ward. It's not an interception.
It's not an interception. I'm not certain it's a catch.
Jerry Jones, Stephen Jones, Jared Jr., they deserve so much credit for bringing him back and making it happen because providing him with these players is a dynamic duo.
Ball was behind him. He's never really has it.
Please reset the game clock to 8:13. 8:13 on the game clock. Thank you.
Just when you thought you had him right, did he actually get that one put away is what Kansas City might argue a little bit, but a terrific job by. Watch the left hand go down, the knees up as the ball gets popped out. If his forearm is down, he's down, and that's not a fumble. Nice job by Oluokun. They'll take a look at it.
Going half speed.
No, it's
Surtain's just right there.
If it's early right there, he has him, but it's late,
but it's
like
not.
you said.
It's the gamble to not put him on Jefferson. He's on the outside, and he comes up with a huge stop for the Bucs in that situation.
Yeah, earlier in this game, every time Carlton Davis would lag off or come to rush the quarterback.
Your defense play well. You're going to get the ball right back if they punt the ball, right? Ball comes back out. Deion Jackson, definitely a fumble. But that is great defense by Jacksonville Jaguars. And so I would say take away the offensive mindset, right? Just take a look at what's been going on in the game, and you'll see that it's probably better to punt on that series as opposed to going for it on fourth down.
Yeah, don't know the decision here by Kenny Pickett. It's great coverage by Charvarius Ward. You can see him playing behind right there. I don't know if you're trying to get a back shoulder, and then you get the slip at the top of the route. Everybody was covered. Unfortunately, that's one of those ones you throw it away, you take your medicine, you punt, and you try to play defense. Now they've given San Francisco the ball.